Happy, happy, joy, joy. So we want to talk about what did God give us to increase happiness and increase joy. We're specifically talking about products and herbs. Now, sunshine, we want the happy vitamin. We need to be calm and relaxed, connect to God through nature, deep breathing. Okay, there's all kinds of great things we can do to help us with our mood. But so many people struggle with joy, lack of joy, depression, and I want to tell you, 3 of my super duper favoritist things that I've used for years and years and years. 1, super funny, super awesome, good old happy juice. People swear by this. People tell me, don't you ever run out of this, because it really, really works. It makes people feel happy. You've heard of St. John's wort. St. John's wort is great for serotonin. Now, they do say not to take this with antidepressants, but St. John's wort is an amazing plant to help us increase serotonin to make us feel happier. Chamomile, wild lettuce, these are herbs that calm us and relax us. So this boosts our mood, makes us feel good, while calming and relaxing us. Good old happy juice. I love this one. Now, I'm going to talk to you about Mucuna pruriens. I'm going to say that 3 times real fast. Mucuna pruriens. This is an herb that is naturally high in something called L-DOPA. What do you think of when you hear L-DOPA? Dopamine. So it's a precursor to dopamine. It's actually a plant that helps you naturally increase dopamine. And dopamine is like drive, motivation, and so many people lack drive and motivation, and they feel happier when they take something that helps them increase dopamine. By the way, this is why people are addicted to sugar and sweets, because it stimulates dopamine receptors in the brain. So get off of the artificial sweeteners and the sugars and the addictive foods and get onto some of God's herbs. I'm telling you, this mucuna stuff is awesome. This is a powdered form by Ogio, and this is a liquid form by Banyan Botanicals. You can just drop under the tongue. They both work. Start with a super low dose, because this stuff is strong. So like 1/4 teaspoon of the powder, or maybe just a few drops of the liquid. Slowly increase it, and you'll notice your mood and your energy and your motivation should start to increase. The last one I want to talk about is pine pollen. Now, pine pollen, that sounds funny, doesn't it? It's actually, you think of all the yellow pollen that's on the trees, that's on the ground when you're in the woods, in the forest. Well, what is pine pollen? It's the male part of the plant. It's hormones. We're talking about hormones here. So God is awesome, and He created male and female, and He created us with different parts, and He did it with plants too. So the pine cone is kind of like the female. Pine cone opens up, receives the pollen, and guess what? You got fertility. You got a new tree. So that's what pine pollen does for us too. It's got all these hormonal components. So DHEA is the joy hormone. You want to have more joy? Pine pollen. Pine pollen is the highest known plant source of DHEA, the joy hormone. I'm telling you, this stuff is magnificent. You want to feel more joy. It's going to help your adrenal glands where that DHEA is produced, but it's going to give you an immediate boost. Men or women can take this. Men, it will also help with testosterone levels. And again, women, it's not going to mess with your testosterone, because God's a cool designer, and He knows if you're a man or a woman, and He designed pine pollen, so it's going to work for you for what you need. So this is a liquid form of pine pollen by Raw Forest Foods. And this is the super concentrated 10-to-1 pine pollen extract by Raw Forest Foods. So you want to have more happiness, more joy God's way. Pine pollen, Mucuna pruriens, and happy juice. Don't worry, be happy.